Hi, my name is Jen Reynolds, and I am here to tell you top 10 ways to be successful in your seat-based science course. If you're attending college, hopefully these tips will help you get started and to know some of the top 10 things that are important in your seat-based course. Number one is attendance. A lot of times students will think they can just keep on missing class, but you are missing out on a lot of information that's important. Key things, reminders, upcoming due dates, notes on the board, and you need to be familiar with your schools and your classes' attendance policies. In some cases, if you miss 2 weeks worth of classes in a row, you will be withdrawn automatically from the course. Also, in my classes, since they're lab classes, if students miss 4 classes, even if they're not in a row, after the 4th class, they will be withdrawn from the course because that is a lot of things, a lot of information, a lot of participation and hands-on that they are missing. The attendance policy is usually clear in the syllabus, plus you can click on the school attendance policy and it's very clear in that form as well. So find out from your school what the school's policy and what your instructor's policy are, and make sure that you adhere to those policies so that you're not withdrawn from your course. Show up for class, even if you're late. That way you don't miss out because it is to your benefit. Your instructor really cares about you. We want you to be successful in the course. We want to help you. We don't want you to miss out. And if you are skipping out on class, then you're not learning. And also, whether you have financial aid or not, it is costing time and money, and it's to your benefit to attend as many classes as you can. If you're sick, reach out to your instructor and let your instructor know, and they will work with you as best as they can. Or if something happens, an accident or things happen in life that you cannot predict. Your car might get a flat tire, accidents happen, illness in the family, you just never know. But please communicate that with your instructor. Number 2, print out and read and refer to your course syllabus and schedule so that you don't miss out on deadlines. Your syllabus is the handbook for your course, and I always recommend that students print that out first thing and don't lose it. Bring it with you to class, look at it frequently, and have it in the front of your notebook where you have notes and things so that you can refer to it frequently. Typically, they will be in a schedule in there. Schedules can change. I put tentative on mine because things may change. I might have a guest speaker come in. We may lose track of time. So things can change, and that's understandable, but that's a guideline. And it also will have the grading policy, the weighted grades in there. So make sure that you have that handy at all times. Number 3, time management skills are super important in your seat-based course. Make sure that you're doing any reading and studying ahead of time before quizzes and tests. Make sure that you're doing your homework and submitting that and turning it in. Be mindful of upcoming projects and make sure that you start working on them ahead of time. Be mindful of the deadline because many times instructors will not accept projects after that hard deadline and due date. There's a lot to grade, and a lot of times that's at the end of the course, and grades are due in and graduation comes up. So those projects are big ticket items. They're worth a lot of points in your course. So make sure that you take them seriously and that you get started on them as soon as you can. Quizzes. Do not miss quizzes if at all possible, and exams. These are also big chunk items that are typically a big chunk of your grade. They may be 30, 40, 50% of your grade. So if you have to miss class, Try to schedule your appointments on other days other than your class, especially on a day that you have a quiz or an exam. If you have a take-home exam, make sure that you get that in by the deadline, because there's a lot of excuses. The dog ate my homework, I got sick, I forgot it, I thought it was due next week. No, we hear those excuses all the time, especially when years of teaching, you hear the same thing over and over and over again. Make sure it's your responsibility, and you need to make sure that you document when that exam is due and that you turn that in on time and complete that on time. We want you to be successful in the course and help as much as we can. But in addition to doing work, as instructors at the college level, we want you to be successful in life too. There's a lot of other things that we're teaching you in our courses in addition to the actual subject matter. A lot of times we are teaching you skills that are going to help you in life. Critical thinking skills, collaboration, teamwork, responsibility, accountability, integrity, and taking ownership of your responsibilities and learning how to meet deadlines. This is going to benefit you in the future because this is expected in the job and career world. And so many times students don't realize that there's a point and a purpose behind your assignments. It's not just busy work, and we want you to grow in knowledge and grow as a person and as an individual while you are building these critical skills. Number 4, pay attention during lectures, because something may grab your attention and it may spark an interest in something, or it may spark a question. Always feel free to ask your instructor questions that you may have during the lecture. If there's something you want to know more of, or if you just have a question that you need clarification on, it will help if you are listening during the lectures. Number 5, participate and show effort in your labs and turn in your lab paperwork or project worksheets if you have a report that needs to be done. All of these things are teaching you critical thinking skills and how to work through problems, how to work through questions, how to work together in your team or your group or your pair. This is for collaboration, for hands-on learning, and for applying the material that you are learning. So make sure that you are participating and feel free to ask questions during that time as well. Number 6, always check your emails and announcements and reminders. This is expected in any course, whether this is a seat-based course or an online course. Please read through it, because a lot of times there's important information in there, especially about upcoming deadlines or further instructions that are clarified. If something changed, if there is a closure due to weather or sickness, if your instructor needs to cancel or reschedule class, this is expected that you check your email and announcements once or twice a week in the seat-based course. Also, if you've missed a class, then reach out to your instructor and check the online component. In most seat-based courses nowadays, you need to be aware that there's oftentimes an online component with a learning management system. In the school I teach in my classes, we use Moodle, but other classes and schools may use Blackboard or Canvas or D2L or others, but those are the 4 most common ones that I've seen in my years of teaching. The learning management system is a place where you can go to submit your homework online, to access PowerPoint lecture materials, to access instructions and information and pictures that can help you fill out your labs. So always take advantage of that online component. And it also has the agenda on there, oftentimes what to expect that particular week. When you see the word agenda, think calendar and think schedule. also due dates and when assignments open and close. Number 7, pay attention to the attendance policy. So I reiterate this again because sometimes students will just disappear for 2 or 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden they realize they've been dropped from the course and nobody knows what happened to them. We don't know if you fell off the face of the earth, if something happened, if you're missing. We have sent welfare checks out on students before because we never heard back and we became concerned and wanted to make sure that they were safe and everything's okay. If you're in the online setting, it will cause you to not be able to get back into your course. So it will disappear and you won't be able to log in. So just make sure that before anything, you are aware of your course, your instructor's policy, and your school attendance policy as well, because those matter. Number 8, take good notes. In some classes, you may be given guided notes. I give guided notes in my classes that are optional and they're fill in the blank style. But if you're a note taker, then you may want to take notes during the class and you can document anything your instructor emphasizes that you'll see again or that's important for a test or a quiz. And you can also write down any questions you have and then write the answer if your instructor answers the question or if they get back to you or if another student in the class answers the question. Number 9, that leads me to the next one, is to ask questions. If you're confused about something, don't be scared to reach out and ask your instructor for further clarification. And if you just want to know more about the topic, ask during the lecture. My lectures and my seat-based classes are interactive, and so I encourage students to participate and to ask questions and to help each other learn as well. I also encourage and allow cell phone use during the lectures so that students can rapidly look things up. If I ask them a question during the lecture and I want them to look something up so that they can help learn from each other, I might ask them to look up a news article or something current on that topic, or I might have each table look something different up and then share that information with each other. So it's always encouraged, at least in my classes, for students to feel free and safe and comfortable that they can ask questions. If I cannot answer the question, then I will typically look it up myself and get back to them, or I keep my technology on in the class too so that we can pause and we can both find out the answer together. I will also sometimes call in experts, my colleagues, because I teach biology classes and anatomy and physiology classes. There are times when I like to have guest speakers or incorporate a video of somebody who is a specialist in a topic that I'm not a specialist in. My specialty is microbiology and the human body, but my specialty, I may not know something in terms of botany that is a very intense question, or zoology, but that's where all my colleagues that I work with differ, because everybody is a different specialty. Someone I work with has specialized in botany, another person specialized in molecular biology, someone else specialized in zoology. I have another friend who is a specialist in herbal medicine. Another colleague is a specialist in the eye. So I call all of those people in or have them bring in their input periodically for classes so that students can learn even more and ask those intense questions that they can give a better answer to. So I believe in collaborative education and collaborative learning. Number 10, study before your assessments. If there's a study guide, if there is a link to a Quizlet or to a Kahoot, take advantage of that and come to class prepared. Study before you take your quizzes so that you're prepared and it will stick in your brain. This is to your benefit so that you retain the information. It's not just something that you are doing to get the grade. I will recommend highly, highly, highly. When I was in undergraduate school, what was the biggest benefit for me and what was fun was forming study groups with my classmates. You will form lifelong friends and even networks by doing this, and it's just a lot of fun and a way that you can see things from different perspective, ask each other questions, make cards together, and you just have that teamwork and communication and collaboration. That is very beneficial. I did that all through undergraduate school. I did this through my 2 years of allied health prerequisites. Once I got into my master's degree, that was a completely different setup. If you're going, or if you're planning to further your education in the master's degree setting, that is all writing, and you spend hours just writing and researching, and the whole learning and assessment is a completely different way. But in undergraduate school, it's more memorization, and studying with study groups will be very beneficial to you. I hope this has been helpful and that these tips have been helpful for you for whatever class that you are taking.